last year trying to prevent exactly that, and we worked hand in hand with LAPD, with Santa Monica, Long Beach, Beverly Hills PD, other municipalities throughout the county. And we were successful in some areas, we're not so successful in others. And I think early intervention and high visible presence is the way to go. And we will be doing that. We will be working hand in hand with all of our municipal partners throughout the county. And of course, first thing we're asking for people is, regardless of what the outcome may be, it's not going to be a cause for people to resort to violence or damage other people's property, destroy businesses, destroy jobs in the process. That's not going to further anyone's cause of justice. You're actually creating more injustices. But we will take a very visible process. We're going to always respect people's right to protest. We're going to defend everyone's First Amendment right to assemble and to protest, but it has to be peaceful. That's all we're asking for. Peaceful protest. If they decide to become violent or cross over into lawlessness, we will take immediate and decisive action. Period. We can do both things, but we're going to be protecting life, protecting property, and maintaining order. And I think our posture will be one that's going to be fair, one by all means. But if you're a member of the public, you joined a peaceful protest, but then it becomes unruly. You see rocks flying, bottles flying. You see people breaking windows and things. Just leave. You're not part of a peaceful protest anymore. Somebody hijacks it for you. We're going to do our best to separate the people that are peaceful protesters from the people trying to hijack it and cause trouble. But do yourselves and ourselves a favor. If that happens, that devolves, and typically happens at night more than the daytime, that's the time where you need to just walk away. That's the best thing you can do.
I would just echo the sheriff's remarks. We've looked at our performance this last summer, and our men and women, I stand by their actions. We've conducted 3 after-action reports. We did identify areas of weakness and things that we needed to improve upon as far as how we go about managing and facilitating peaceful crowds, how we go about when those crowds become unruly, individuals within the crowd become violent, those that choose to then engage in acts of looting or arson. And while we arrested thousands of individuals for curfew violations, as well as for arson, for looting, for attacks against police officers. More than 100 officers were injured as a result of those activities during that 9-day period. We've taken back and reflected on that, and as we come into this instance of the trial, and it just was moved to the jury, is my understanding, a few moments ago, and now they begin the deliberation. We have strengthened our command and control of the leadership from top to bottom as far as what our goals and objectives are in facilitating First Amendment activities, guaranteeing the right to assemble, guaranteeing peaceful and lawful protests, but also ensuring that as should individuals choose, as the sheriff indicated, to hijack or try to capitalize on a situation and commit acts of violence against officers, commit acts of violence within a community, whether it be by acts of arson or breaking into businesses and looting the contents of that, our arrests will be certain, and we will have added resources. Those added resources are already in play. Our entire department is in uniform, and we will ensure that our staffing increases proportional to the challenges. However, I'm also encouraged that over this last week, that we have seen a number of protests here in the Los Angeles Basin, certainly here in LA City, that have been peaceful. They've been the expression of a voice. Voices of frustration, of anger, of discontent, of trauma. And they've been able to be heard because actions of violence did not occur. And so that's where we want to continue that theme. I call, and as the sheriff has, and all of us will continue to call out to our elected leaders, to call out our faith leaders, to call out our community advocates, for those that have voices on all of our communities, to call for peace, to be united in the sense that the moral arc of the universe, it's long, but it's bent towards justice. We are seeing, as Dr. King so aptly said, we are seeing reforms, and we have to believe in that. And at the same time, we know that there's pain experienced in just watching these images out of Minneapolis, and also seeing other instances of violence involving between the police and in our community. And it's critical that we acknowledge that, and we know that policing is here to facilitate that expression of grief and trauma. What we ask is to do so, though, in a manner that is safe, that is respectful of the law, and that does not engage in attacks against officers or attacks within the community. And I think we're capable of doing that by just, again, reflecting back on where we've seen marches in Hollywood this weekend, Leimert Park yesterday, and that were conducted peacefully, that did not involve the need for law enforcement to take any type of action other than to try to facilitate the safety of those there.